It's a state of emergency as we get word on deadly fighting between Hamas militants in Gaza and Israel. Dozens of rockets being fired from Gaza today, bombarding southern Israeli towns. Ashdod, Israel, is just one city that has been hit by these attacks. That is where Leland Vitter joins us live.
Martha, so far the Iron Dome missile defense system behind me has intercepted 80 rockets coming out of Gaza. And the Iron Dome is the only thing protecting about 1 million Israeli citizens who live in the line of fire. We've got more missiles coming in. You can see everyone running. This is right now the very safest place. We're going to come in under here, and now we wait. Those awful seconds that everyone in this part of the world knows what it's like to wait. As the missile's coming in, you know it's here. The question is, where will it hit? And there it was, the explosion very nearby. What you don't know is whether that was the Iron Dome exploding, intercepting the missile, or whether that was another hit somewhere around this very densely populated residential area. And there you go. That's the Iron Dome. You've got an explosion up in the air. We're going to walk around to the other side where you saw this damage. When you talk about what these missiles can do, that's it. This is the other side of the apartment building we were on. You're looking at the Gaza Strip where the missile flew out of and then in to this apartment building. You get a sense of just how random the killing is here and also how absolute the destruction is. This is where one of the people who died in the apartments were standing, and as you look through here, you see just how much is blown away. And as of now, the death toll is 3 people on the Israeli side with a number injured, mainly at that apartment building we were at inside the Gaza Strip. There have been a number of militants killed. That's how this operation all began, with targeted killings, and then at least a couple of civilians, bringing the death toll there in Gaza to about 15 people. Hamas has said Israel, quote, opened the gates of hell. The Israeli Defense Forces say they are prepared to escalate this. So far, we have seen tanks now heading towards the Gaza border. So the question going forward, Martha, is do cooler heads prevail? The funerals for those militants were today. Does Hamas bury its dead and move on, or do we head towards war? Martha, back to you.
Incredible. And Leland, is such an insightful look at what it's like to be there on the ground and live in those buildings where all of this is going on. Leland, thank you very much.
شيالة اثبت
ارجع ورا Rockets fired from the Gaza Strip have not only hit Tel Aviv, but also Jerusalem for the first time. Hamas in Gaza claimed responsibility for firing a long-range missile into Gush Etzion in Jerusalem, an occupied area captured by Israel in 1976 and home to Jewish settlements. The rockets landed in open areas in both Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, and no one was hurt, but the attacks mark a turning point in the conflict.
We are, of course, handling well the rockets launched into central and southern Israel. We are prepared, if needed, to broaden the operation in a significant way.
Israel has always feared rockets from Gaza could eventually reach Tel Aviv, but Jerusalem was generally considered out of reach. The rocket aimed at Tel Aviv landed in the sea.
I was at the beach. I was there accidentally. I thought it was the safest place to be. And suddenly, I can't breathe. There was a lot of smoke behind the rock, right over there.
Earlier on Friday, the Israeli army sent more tanks and troops to the border with Gaza. The Ministry of Defense also called up 16,000 reservists, and it plans to deploy another anti-missile system. All these developments suggest a possible ground assault.
We will do everything that is humanly possible to avoid hitting civilians. We will target surgically as much as is humanly possible the Hamas terrorists. And we urge Gaza's civilians, if you're next to a facility which is being used by Hamas, move away from it, please.
Israeli airstrikes on Gaza continued on Friday, while rockets from Gaza were fired at Israel throughout the day. Israel considers Jerusalem the symbol of its sovereignty, while Tel Aviv is its commercial capital. With both cities coming under attack, Israeli leaders will be in no mood to talk peace. Nisreen Al-Shamaili, Al Jazeera, West Jerusalem.
Well, as you heard, the Israeli cabinet has now authorized the mobilization of up to 75,000.
In your thoughts on the timing and choice of target here?
Well, the single thing that's most important straight away is to try and calm this situation, to de-escalate it. And that means that the rockets have got to stop coming out of Gaza, and then the Israeli military action cease, and then we can try and find our way forward. But I don't think we should be in any doubt at all. If this situation continues and it escalates, it's going to be really serious and tragic, not just for Israelis and Palestinians, but actually it will cause a huge amount of upheaval right across the region. And this is a region, as you know, that doesn't require more upheaval right now. So the first step is to try and de-escalate it and do that as fast as possible.
We were talking earlier to Gershon Baskin, who's an unofficial negotiator, mediator who took part in the Gilad Shalit negotiations and others. He's been involved in talks with Egypt about a potential truce. He says that Mr. Jabri had received a draft truce proposal, was interested in a long-term truce, and had been involved in trying to calm things among militants in Gaza. So again, your thoughts on the choice of target?
Well, we just don't know at this juncture. And of course, there will be those that feel very strongly one way and those that feel very strongly the other way. Look, when I'm trying to play a part in trying to calm this situation, I think the single most important thing right now is that we allow everybody who's got a role to play this, and that includes Egypt, by the way, to try and bring about a situation where you get a ceasefire, a calm, as soon as we possibly can, and then there's a chance of working out how we proceed from there. But if we don't do that and it escalates, there are going to be many more innocent civilians killed on both sides, Palestinians and Israelis.